How's it going, good people? Today we're going on a field trip to the kitchen, and if you'd so kindly oblige, you can consider me Chef Sinnocence. Let's get cooking! So today we're gonna be making Sinnocence's spicy Portuguese pulled pork ramen that definitely fucks. This is basically 50% a recipe that I learned from my mom, basically the only recipe I know, and 50% instant ramen, with a few accoutrements. So I can't fuck up too bad. I know it's surprising, but I actually have no formal training in this, and most of the measurements are gonna be to taste, so do with that what you will. Let's get to it! So first and foremost, for the ingredients, you're gonna want a decent amount of pork, some crab, a few eggs, sriracha and lemon juice, a package of your favorite ramen, a roll of natto maki, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, black pepper, and some oil. My mom always said the recipe was Portuguese. I'm just gonna take that as fact. But most of the ingredients aren't really Portuguese? Maybe she was fucking with me. So first of all, for our sauce for the pork, we're gonna start with a little bit of corn oil or canola oil. We're gonna lightly, oh my god. Okay, maybe not lightly, but we're gonna coat the bottom of the crock pot or the pan or the dish that you are cooking in the oven. Make sure that's safe. Make sure it's probably like Pyrex or something. I don't fucking know. But just enough oil to have a splash, you know? It's just for a little savory something. So next up, we're gonna donate a fair portion of a bottle of sriracha into our sauce. If I'm being completely honest, it's mostly sriracha and lemon juice. We'll add a few other spices in there as well, but that's sort of the base of it. I don't know how to cook. I just make videos. And again, the ratio is all based on how much pork you're gonna be using and mixed to taste. Time to pucker up for some of that real lemon. And we're just gonna dunk that. Oh yeah. Get that right in there. Next up, we're gonna add some cayenne pepper to add a little bit more kick to this. Bam! Bam! Okay, maybe a little more. We want that shit spicy. To really pull that sauce out of the sour spicy, we're gonna add a little bit of garlic powder to this shit. Get nice and savory like. Get some stank on it. Next, take a fork or some shit and just like mix that shit around, man. Really whisk it. Maybe you could use a whisk. I don't have one of those. Now you might be asking, Sinnocence, why did you buy a chef hat for the video and not a whisk? It's my life, yo. Don't tell me how to live it, because my priorities are straight. Okay, so now the oil won't completely mix in, but once it's all basically the same consistency and you got it mixed up real nice, we're gonna do a quick taste test. I actually think I need a little bit more sriracha. It should have a pretty good balance of both the lemon and the sriracha. You don't want it too sour and you don't want it to just straight up be sriracha. I think I'm at a good spot. I think so. A little spicy, but that's good. That's what you want. That's what I want anyway. But so now I'm gonna put my pork cutlets into the slow cooker for approximately 4 hours. Lowering the temperature and cooking for longer will give it a much more tender kind of feel to it, which is why I like the slow cooker. All right, so you wanna dip your meat in. It's all gonna break apart later anyway. Does this look appetizing? So once your meat's in there, just give it a quick squish around, really get in there and play with it. And then wash your hands, this is raw meat. And then since I'm such a keener, I'm gonna get boiling those eggs early. You basically take those eggs and you boil that shit. It's up to you if you want soft boiled or hard boiled. I'm not your dad, I don't tell you what to do. Live your life. This is your ramen. This is the worst instructional cooking video. It's not instructional, it's comedy. Poor excuse for it anyway. Oh man, this is gonna be excellent. I'm egg-static. Certainly egg-centric. These jokes are excrement. Egg? Come on in, make a coffee. I'm not doing anything important here. Nothing important at all. Japan meets Canada. Canada? Canada! Japan! Mega! Alright, we're getting pretty close on the eggs now. Once those are done, you're gonna want to set them aside to cool, and then find something to do for about 4 hours. seems to be coming along nicely. I've already just started to tear it apart here to really pull that pork. I'm basically just gonna turn this into mashed pork right now. Okay, so we got our pork and our eggs pretty ready to go now. So our next step, of course, is the ramen. I am personally using instant ramen. I'm sure if you guys know how to make your own pasta or noodles. What's the difference between pasta and soup noodles? Is there one? Don't look at me, I didn't go to culinary school. I bought this hat from a costume store. It's actually really hard to find chef hats, you would not believe. So our next step is to cut up our natto maki. This is kind of just an extra bonus. I think it really makes ramen, like it just gives it that aesthetic. And it don't taste all too bad either. A little fish cake. So now for your ramen, you can use pretty much whatever you feel like. I recently bought this Shin Black ramen. It's actually pretty decent. Let's get to prepping it. Some people like to boil their water in a pot with the noodles. I actually prefer to get my water boiled first and pour it over top of the ramen. Doing it the latter way will tend to get your noodles a little al dente, and that's what I like. That's what I want. And if you're into it, that's what I want for you too. Now we wait for it to boil. So I'm gonna take a bit of a layered approach, and I'm gonna enter the soup mix in now at the bottom of the bowl. And you can mix in the prepackaged veggies, and I'm definitely realizing now it would be great to have some like fresh mushrooms and fresh carrots in there as well. But last we got the packaged stuff. Dehydrated. You can also put some of the meat in at the bottom as well. And excess sauce would be great in the bottom too. It's all gonna mix together eventually. Now we got our puck of ramen noodles in there, and we can apply the boiling water. Oh yeah. Now that the noodles have started to soften up, we're gonna add a little bit more pork on top as well. Just fucking A-rights, why not? There we go, big freaking pile, just like that. Hell yeah. Now it's time to add our accoutrement. I have a little bit of excess here, that's for sure, but we'll make it look pretty. Got our imitation crab. Y'all can use real crab if you're bougie like that. Get our natto maki in there. Oh, heck yeah. And if it wasn't overstuffed enough, we're gonna shove a full fucking egg in there. Well, that kind of looks like a face. I'm not very good at plating. Now, final step, add a little bit of ground pepper on top. And there we go, we got Sinnocence's spicy Portuguese pulled pork ramen that definitely fucks. Oh, it definitely fucks. Let's take a good old look. And our last step, of course, is to eat it. I'm gonna use a fork this time instead of chopsticks because I don't usually eat at my computer like this. It's a little tough, one-handed. But let's dig in. This sauce will stain the shit out of anything, but this is pretty good. I managed to not make it overpowering with the spice, but it's definitely there. There's a kick. I actually only just recently got into cooking for myself again. Lots of eating out over the years. However, I really wanted to share the recipe my mom taught me. If you guys make this dish, or something similar with the pork recipe, definitely send me pics. I'd be stoked if other people out there are making something like this too. But without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of SinTax. Next week, we'll probably just be sitting down and chatting about something. Or who knows? We got brand new videos on this channel every Monday and Wednesday and every other Friday. Not generally cooking themed, but who knows? If this one does well, maybe we'll cook some other shit in the kitchen. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It's greatly appreciated as I am a small channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. We have a lot of fun here and it'd be great if you came along for the ride. But I hope to catch you in the next video. Alrighty, bye.